With the cost of living getting higher and higher, I decided to put my family through a 30-day challenge to see if we could cut 70% of our discretionary spending by living off just $100 per week. I'm Jacob Carlisle, and I'm the owner of one of Australia's fastest growing companies. I'm going to show you the 6 money-saving strategies that I use to radically cut costs. I'm also going to reveal at the end whether we went over or under our $100 a week threshold. So, unlocking money-saving strategy number 1, which was to design this challenge around our lifestyle. Because we wanted this challenge to be as accessible to as many people as possible, we decided to cut back the challenge spending a little bit. So we didn't include stuff like our utilities and electricity bills, our insurance premiums, and some of our subscriptions that we've had for a long, long time. But everything else was on the chopping block.
I was definitely shocked by how much I could restrict spending and stick to the budget.
I'm surprised how much you could do that too.
I usually do not think about a budget, and I just spend what I want to spend normally.
And we purposefully haven't set budgets in the past, and we don't operate like that.
You don't want to know how much I spent at the organic shop this week.
No, I don't.
For us, we knew that groceries was a large line item on our monthly P&L. So that's why we were okay with leaving things out like our subscriptions and our bills, because we knew they were pretty well under control. The next money-saving strategy that we used was to switch our grocery shopping to Aldi. Most Australians will know that Aldi always comes in more cost effective, but I was expecting for us to live pretty simply for the month of this challenge. However, I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of things. I found their frozen meals were high in protein and were actually really tasty, probably better than the ones that I'm used to getting at the supermarket. There was also lots of great fruit and vegetable that was nice and fresh, which saved us a lot of money in that side of things. Something that you might be concerned about if you switch to shopping at Aldi is the drop in quality. Now, I can say for 90% of items that didn't happen. However, there was this one thing
where we were buying lower quality meats, and we had that really horrible lasagna. Remember that $7 lasagna we got from Aldi?
The $7
and
lasagna.
We couldn't even finish it. We couldn't even eat it. It was so gross.
Horrible. We went hungry that night.
So for this one, I'm going to say Aldi is worth making the switch, but not the lasagna. Unlocking strategy number 3, which is selling stuff to increase our budget. This was great because it really made us look around the house to see what we weren't using to help our challenge, give us a little bit extra budget, and have a little bit less stuff in the house. But it came at a cost. That was my poor old Xbox 360 and my PS2.
We did have to sell.
But we didn't sell that much.
We didn't sell that. I sold my Xbox.
Yeah, but it was only 50.
Doesn't matter.
How much money was it?
I got $80 for my Xbox, my PS2, and all the games.
I sold a sign for $50.
Yeah.
I really took a risk for the team. I really sacrificed something.
Yeah.
So would I recommend this strategy? I would use this as more of a break glass in case of emergency tactic. One of my biggest regrets from the challenge was I didn't actually flip anything. So I could have used some of our money for the month, allocated towards buying something and then selling it for a profit on Marketplace or eBay. But I didn't do this, and if I was going to do the challenge again, I would definitely include this in my strategy. We're getting super close to unlocking our overpowered money-saving strategy, but first, the next strategy, which is number 4, is all about changing our mindset. When you get money, do you want to hang on to it really tight and not let it go? Are you restricting yourself from experiences and things that you really want in the name of money? This is what having a restrictive versus an abundant mindset is all about. A restrictive mindset is a belief that money doesn't grow on trees and that I have to save every dollar that I make. Whereas an abundant mindset is that there is always more opportunities and more opportunities to make money.
Because we just work harder to make our goals come to fruition.
So I'm not a fan of we only work hard and we don't spend anything because then we retire at 60 or 65 and then we won't work and then we'll just enjoy our life.
So it was really weird having to switch our mindset for this challenge to something more restrictive. Now, don't get me wrong, a restrictive mindset is not a bad thing and it can still have its advantages. But in the long run, a restrictive mindset could actually cause more harm than good.
Because I'm a personal trainer, I see many correlations to that restrictive diets also only work so far, where you need to have an expansive mindset with your habits and nutrition and your workout and do it for the love of it.
So would I recommend a restrictive mindset? Yes for the challenge, but no for a longer term time horizon. We're getting closer to revealing the final number. Money saving strategy number 5 is preparing for roadblocks. Towards the end of the challenge, my daughter got sick. We were going so well up until this point, and then we had to splurge out $35 for some medication. And this is when I had to do the inevitable and sell my Xbox. So the lesson that we learned from this was that we should always set aside a little bit of money just in case something happens. And I think this carries across into normal everyday life. You should always be prepared for the unexpected. And finally, money saving strategy number 6, which might be the most overpowered strategy of them all, is gamification. This actually made us excited for saving money. Gamification is turning your life into a game. That means assigning points, levels, and power-ups throughout your challenge. We also introduced a streak where if you spent no money for a couple of days in a row, that felt really good. So ultimately, at the end of the challenge, we came in $2.41 under our allocated $400 for the month. I knew we were gonna come close, and I'm so glad that we weren't over and we ended up being under.
And it really goes to show how much discipline you have when you set your sights on something. Like, you have more discipline than you realize.
If you're thinking about doing the no spend challenge, I would definitely recommend this to you, but you must do it with a purpose in mind. You have to do it with a savings goal, with a holiday savings goal, with potentially an investment goal. You need to reward yourself at the end of these sorts of challenges, otherwise it's not going to be any fun.